everyone, Alexa Dunn here, and happy summer. And summer is a great time for those fast, zippy, thrilling beach reads, and a beach read can be a thriller. I thought it would be fun to share all of the YA thrillers that I could find that are coming out this summer so that you can find your next summer thriller read. Yes, also because one of these books is mine, but also this is a lot of my TBR and or a few books that I have been lucky enough to read early. It is a good summer for thrillers, y'all. And yes, several of these are boarding school thrillers. It is the summer of the boarding school thriller. So let's jump right in with Don't Breathe a Word by Jordyn Taylor. This one is already out and it is a boarding school thriller, and what I love about this one is that it straddles time. It's definitely on my TBR now. The blurb jumped right out at me. It is perfect for fans of books like Truly Devious. Don't Breathe a Word follows two girls separated by 60 years, but whose stories are inextricably linked by their connection to a secret society that has run their elite boarding school for decades. So it's apparently multi-POV, one now and one in the 60s. I love that kind of multi-linear storytelling, and you know I like boarding schools with secrets. So definitely pick that one up. It's already out. Also already out is a little book you might have heard of, and it's called The Ivies, and it's by Alexa Dunn, who is me. Yeah, so this one is also set at an elite boarding school, and it is competitive college admissions meets a boarding school thriller. The Ivies are a group of girls who have been systematically backstabbing their competition for 2.5 years so that they can improve their odds of getting into the Ivy League of their choice. But there is a rule even within their friend group, and that is no one applies to the same Ivy, especially not Harvard, because that is Avery's school. But on early decision day, Emma gets into Harvard and Avery is rejected, and then Emma is murdered. The main character, Olivia, also has a secret. She also broke the rules, applied to, and got into Harvard, and she's concerned that one of her friends murdered Emma, and if that is the case, that she is next. But more importantly, as she starts investigating her friend's murder, she discovers that her friends have far more secrets than she ever realized. That's my little elevator pitch that I'm still working on. You'd think I would have it by now for The Ivies, out now wherever books are sold. Next is another boarding school thriller. I wasn't lying to you, and my copy is actually on its way, so I can't hold it up, but it's on the screen. And that is Ace of Spades by Faridah Àbíké-Íyímídé. This one is set at an elite school where Devon and Chamaka are the only two black kids at the school, and a bunch of shady stuff starts happening. There's like blackmail and threats, and they have to team together to basically uncover who it is at the school who is clearly trying to get them out. It's dark and it's twisty and definitely perfect for people who love boarding school books that have kind of that like secrets under the surface, institutional, kind of dark academia feel. Again, Ace of Spades is already out, so you can pick it up now. Next is You're So Dead by Parsons, out on June 15th, and I should say, disclaimer, if any of these dates have changed, these are the dates that I pulled a couple of weeks ago, but they're all coming out this summer. So this one is like a YA thriller comedy is how it's described, about three best friends who sneak into an influencers only festival event gone wrong, like Fire Festival I'm thinking here, only to discover the killer is in their midst, and they have to uncover the truth and solve the mystery before it's too late. Perfect for fans of One of Us is Lying and Truly Devious. You know this is on my TBR. I cannot wait to pick up a copy of this one. I wasn't able to get an ARC. You tell me like influencers and murder and I'm basically there. And also like the summer vibes on that. Next out on June 29th is That Weekend by Kara Thomas, and you know that Kara Thomas is my favorite YA thriller writer, so you know I am hyped for this book. I actually have an arc of this one. I have been in a tragic reading slump, and it is literally next on my TBR. It's about 3 friends going up to a mountain cabin for prom weekend, and I love this from the blurb. It says 3 went up the mountain, but only 1 came back. Dun dun dun. I'm excited for this. It plays on like the character who shows up bloodied but can't remember what happened, so I'm assuming this one's gonna be like back and forth in time, possibly multi-POV. I'm sensing some toxic friendship stuff off of this, and I know Kara does that really, really well. So yes, top of the TBR. Next is When All the Girls Are Sleeping by Emily Arsenault. I actually covered this in one of my recent review wrap-up videos. This one is also a boarding school, I would say, suspense mystery. Definitely heavy on kind of the suspense mystery end, and it's a ghosty, gothic-y mystery. I really love this one. I gave it 5 stars, and I highly recommend it if you like. It's the elite boarding school. It's an all-girls boarding school. It really plays off of, it's definitely got toxic friendships in it, and it has some it's happening again. Every time I talk or think about this book, I get goosebumps because it had some legitimately creepy ghost stuff in it. So if you like those kind of supernatural, like, you know, I'm not a horror movie person, but it just came out. I'm like, it has like the Conjuring vibes, and it actually has some side characters who are like ghost hunters. Like if you like that kind of stuff where you get some really creepy ghosty stuff, but it's also like a girl at a boarding school, like actively looking into a mystery, a ghost story that straddles a century. It has some really good stuff in it. And I also said it in my review, and I completely mean it, that if you like the toxic, like girl, mean girl vibes of the Ivies, but you want an even like smarter and deeper character mystery driven version of it, you should read When All the Girls Are Sleeping by Emily Arsenault. The book made me cry. It was legit. And if you do read it, I'm actually doing an event with Emily in July, a virtual event with the bookstore. So you can attend that and hear us both talk about our creepy boarding school books. Well, hers is more creepy. Mine is more like, you know, soapy. Next up on July 13th is The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas. This is another elite school book, and from the blurb, Get Out meets Danielle Vega in this YA horror, it's gonna get dark, where survival is not a guarantee. I've heard very good things about this book. Jake Livingston is one of the only black kids at St. Clair Prep, one of the others being his infinitely more popular older brother. It's hard enough fitting in, but to make matters worse and definitely more complicated, Jake can see the dead. In fact, he sees the dead around him all the time. Most are harmless, stuck in their death loops as they relive their deaths over and over again. They don't interact often with people. But then Jake meets Sawyer, a troubled teen who shot and killed 6 kids at a local high school last year before taking his own life. Now a powerful, vengeful ghost, he has plans for his afterlife, plans that include Jake. Suddenly, everything Jake knows about ghosts and the rules of life itself go out the window as Sawyer begins haunting him and bodies turn up in his neighborhood. High school soon becomes a survival game, one Jake is not sure he's going to win. Yeah, again, elite schools, ghosty, the Get Out comp, put that one on, I mean, put these all on your TBR. So next up is one that I am actively trying to get my hands on an arc of, and I just might do it. So it's Jessica Goodman's They'll Never Catch Us. So this is her next book, and I just did my launch with her, and I read her book from last year, They Wish They Were Us. It was so good. It's gonna go on my next reading wrap up. Like, oh, she does like elite school, hyper ambitious, competitive kids doing horrible things to each other incredibly well. They Wish They Were Us had like a secret society kind of vibe. And They'll Never Catch Us is described as a fast-paced thriller about 2 sisters vying for the top spot on their cross-country team, the only way out of their stifling small town. But their dreams are suddenly thrown into peril when a new girl threatens to take away everything they've worked for. Again, I'm getting some great like toxic, ambitious girls vibes off of this, which is my jam. So yeah, I need this book. I'm expecting a lot of creepy tone, good character work. With They Wish They Were Us definitely had that. And I feel like this one's probably gonna have a pretty dark twist. Next up is a mystery suspense for those who like kind of historical suspense, and it is The Silver Blonde by Elizabeth Ross. This one is described as for fans of Rita Spades and Monica Hesse, a lush historical mystery set in post-World War II America against the flashy backdrop of Hollywood's film studios about a shocking murder that threatens to unearth the ghosts of a young German immigrant's past. So it's set in Hollywood in 1946. It's got like the studio system, starlets, mysteries. So if that sounds up your alley, that is out on July 27th. It is The Silver Blonde by Elizabeth Ross. Then on August 3rd, you might have to break the bank on YA thrillers because the last three are all out on the same day. First is How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. This is also an elite private school thriller, comped as Crazy Rich Asians meets One of Us is Lying, about students at an elite prep school who are forced to confront their secrets when their ex-best friend turns up dead. Nancy Luo is shocked when her former best friend, Jamie Ruan, top-ranked junior at Sinclair Prep, goes missing and is then found dead. Nancy is even more shocked when word starts to spread that she and her friends, Crystal, Akil, and Alexander, are the prime suspects, thanks to the proctor, someone anonymously incriminating them via the school's social media app. Getting some like Pretty Little Liars vibes off of that as well. So definitely pick that up if you love prep school vibes with ambitious overachievers and the like school gossip blog, like a Gossip Girl vibe to it, but with like a sinister edge. Which brings me to A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. This one is described as for fans of Wild Girls and Ninth House, so we got some dark academia here. It is a dark, twisty, atmospheric thriller about a boarding school haunted by its history of witchcraft, ooh, witchy things, and two girls dangerously close to digging up the past. Felicity Morrow is back at Dalloway School. Perched in the Catskill Mountains, the centuries-old ivy-covered campus was home until the tragic death of her girlfriend. Now, after a year away, she's returned to graduate. She even has her old room in Godwin House, the exclusive dormitory rumored to be haunted by the spirits of 5 Dalloway students, girls some say were witches. The Dalloway 5 all died mysteriously, one after another, right on Godwin grounds. This is your dark academia book for the summer. The vibes off of this, we got witchcraft, we got a boarding school with history. Ooh, and I think it might be dual POV. I'm gonna skip ahead in the synopsis. It's Ellis Haley's first year at Dalloway and she's already amassed a loyal following. A prodigy novelist at 17, Ellis is a so-called method writer. She's eccentric and brilliant, and Felicity can't shake the pull she feels to her. So when Ellis asks Felicity for help researching the Dalloway 5 for her second book, Felicity can't say no. Given her history with the arcane, Felicity is the perfect resource. And when history begins to repeat itself, Felicity will have to face the darkness in Dalloway and herself. And last but certainly not least is The Dark Way Down by Chelsea Ichaso. This one is a psychological thriller about a girl looking into the suspicious death of her sister. Piper Sullivan never should have been at suicide point the day she fell. Her older sister, Savannah, knows this with all her heart, just as she knows that Piper's accident was entirely her fault. Savannah did something awful, something she can barely stand to think about, and now Piper is in a coma. But just as Savannah's guilt threatens to swallow her whole, she finds something strange in Piper's locker. A note inviting Piper to a meeting of their school's wilderness club. At the very place and on the very day she fell. Which means that there's a chance Piper wasn't alone. So definitely add that one to your TBR if you love suspense thrillers like Secrets, a sister investigating what really happened. I love books with those vibes. I also really love like creepy mountains, which is also a vibe in Kara Thomas's. So that is a snapshot of some of the YA suspense mystery thriller books out this summer. It's strong with the elite schools and the boarding schools, and by no means an exhaustive list. This was all of the ones that I could find by kind of digging on Goodreads, but It's an imperfect resource. So if I missed any that you know are coming out this summer, drop those down below in the comments. Let's create our ultimate summer thriller TBR. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I will make more reading recommendations style videos. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching and happy reading.